My name is Maria Hvid Dilly, and I'm a researcher at Aalborg University, where I do research on design processes.
My name is Fjóla María Lárusdóttir, and I work at the Education and Training Service Center in Iceland, and we have conducted a project inspired by design-based research.
When working with the sustainable model for change, you're interested in and committed to addressing societal challenges. When working with this model, engaging multiple stakeholders and in particular the specific target group that you're working with is at the center or the heart of the process. As a part of working with this model, you go through 4 phases. The first phase is called the problem identification phase, where we try to learn about the problem as much as we can. Then the lab phase, where we generate ideas or solutions to the problems we're interested in. Then testing phase, where we go out into the real world and we test our solutions. And then lastly, the evaluation phase, where we consider and reflect upon the pros and cons of the solutions that we have developed and consider how we might help spread them into other contexts. Fjóla, could you give me an example of how you've been working with the model in the current project that we've been collaborating on immigrants in Iceland?
Yes. In the problem identification phase, we did a desk study about the subject, and then we had relevant stakeholders gather, and we had several network meetings with them. And also we did the most important thing, and that was to get the voices of the target group itself together through focus groups in 5 regions in Iceland to shed light on the problems identified and bring some suggestions towards solutions. Then when we went into the lab phase, we were working at an event with all the stakeholders, and they were ideating the solutions presented by the group. And moving into the testing phase, the immigrant group got to reflect on the findings and validate the solutions that we went then ahead with. And for the dissemination or the evaluation and spreading phase, we have written a policy brief and a report, and we have created this sustainable model for change with you based on the design-based research. And we are now currently moving towards locally testing the solutions in lifelong learning centers in Iceland, which is a very exciting thing.
And in your opinion, how does this way of working differ from other types of projects you have been involved in?
I think it's mostly based on the pure focus on the target group at hand, and that the ideas of challenges are defined and described by them.
Right. So their voices become very prominent in a different way than you're used to.
Extremely important, and then also because what we have identified among both groups, the stakeholders and experts, and then the immigrant group, are some blind spots where you don't really see or you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And you get to talk about these and get to maybe a few steps ahead. The essence is the voices of the target group themselves, that they define the challenges and that they are shaping their solutions also together with the stakeholders during the process. And then the constant evaluation brings you always back to looking at are we going in the right direction, and then you have all stakeholders gathered around the table to address that commonly.
Right. And I think that also points to why we decided on naming this model, the sustainable model for change, because in my experience, and hopefully this will also be your experience, what makes a solution sustainable is the fact that we're actually asking the people who on a daily basis is involved in the challenge we're looking at. And therefore our solution is informed by the ones who have an everyday experience with it.
Yes, I agree with that, and we see that for other target groups where we see that we are kind of stuck with finding relevant solutions, like the group of young people who are not in education nor work. That might be the next target group for us to focus on to work with this sustainable model in Iceland. So, yeah.
If you want to know more about how you can use the sustainable model for change, you can access more information on the model and the background of the model on nvl.org.